All right, now would you consider a seasoned chef who pulls off flawless dishes only when given many ingredients or the top ingredients, or when they cook something magical with limited resources? I would be impressed by the latter, of course, and so would you. Now, this analogy brings me to our last story for tonight. It's on Formula One and one of its most revered racers, Lewis Hamilton, who capped off another Formula One season, failing to break free from a jinx that seems to have settled into his driver's seat. Once and for all, he's pointed his finger to his four-wheeler companion for this upsetting season. Now, have you heard people say that someone is driving them crazy? Hamilton's car seems to have taken this phrase quite literally, at least according to him. In a recent interview, he questioned the car, and that isn't new. Hamilton has spoken about the flawed model multiple times. But in his classic man versus machine game, the next laps of his career definitely seem to be a little bumpy.
There's a new pit lane talk that's nothing less than a tragic comedy. At the center of that is a 7-time Formula One world champion who just ended another season mired in crisis. And when the next one starts, Lewis Hamilton will have one question on his mind. Will he ever win a race, let alone another championship? The 2023 F1 season ended with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in November. That marked Hamilton's second successive F1 season without a win. When his slide began in 2022, it was unexpected. Nobody saw it coming. But this season has been rather a one-sided competition. Hamilton, who ended third overall, said,
"When you have difficult seasons like this, there are always going to be moments when you're like, is it me or is it the car? Do you still have it or has it gone?"
It's like listening to a superhero question if they left their cape at home. Hamilton finished the last Grand Prix of this season 9th. Throughout the year, his frustration with the car was persistent. It would flare up time and again. As if it's the car that was silently plotting against him at every turn. It still had the shortcomings of the version that was unveiled in the previous season. Or that's what he said, that the design team didn't implement the changes he had specifically wanted. In the season opener, Hamilton finished 5th in the race at Bahrain, almost 50 seconds behind the Flying Dutchman, Max Verstappen. He said Mercedes deliberately ignored the issues that were raised.
"I have driven so many cars in my life. I know what a car needs. I know what a car doesn't need. I think it's really about accountability."
What's funny here is that Hamilton staunchly refuses to believe that there may be better talents or that the competition has simply grown tougher. It's almost like the lines between relying on machine and having faith in your own abilities have blurred. Is it denial or is it selective confidence? If the only ticket to victory is the car, does it somewhere diminish Hamilton's vast experience of being a racing hero? He himself admits that now the gap between Red Bull and Mercedes is massive, that toppling Max Verstappen is getting to be more difficult at this point. The anticipation as to how the next season will turn out for him is intriguing. He vows to come back stronger.
When you think about training, it's not just training, it's recovery, it's meditation, it's cleansing your body, it's going through all these processes and dedicating time for that, and also spending time with family and re-energizing. So I'm like having that stuff planned so that I come back in the next season stronger than ever.
So will the engines rev, or will he choke on the fumes of a flawed car yet again? The world is holding its breath to see if this racing legend can conquer his own doubts in the next few circuits.